wheels, stance, color, and attitude, the art of rake. This time on Art of Rake, we're going back to the 50s to look at a mild custom with some really cool history. So we're going to turn this thing around and be right back. So this is my 1949 Ford. And before we start taking a look at it, I want to give you the backstory on this. So in 1998, I went to Toledo, Ohio for the NNL, and I took this car that year. And they had a special guest out there, and it was Yosemite Sam who it was an original 50s pinstriper from Detroit area. So he was kind of like in that time period of where all the famous ones from the West Coast were doing it, but he was, in Michigan, and he was just as good as those guys, just on a different part of the country. He was a guest of the NNL Toledo that year, and when I went out there and he was doing pinstriping seminars, I talked him into pinstriping this car live right there at the show. And then that snowballed into some other guys who had, I don't think he pinstriped any built models. I think they were all in like bodies and stuff. I'm not positive on that. I know that Norman Weber from Replicas and Miniatures had one done. His might have been finished. And I know Matt Guilfoyle had his done, also from the Mama's Boys. I know his wasn't built. He had an unbuilt one. I think it was painted, and he had something pinstriped too. And there might have been some other guys that had stuff pinstriped. Well, anyway, we ended up going back to his hotel room, and he pinstriped a panel for me that I'm going to show you here later on. But but in that period of time, Rick Hanmore was writing articles for a magazine called Custom Rodder, and in July of '99, he did an article about a little bit about the show and about Yosemite Sam. This is the magazine cover of Custom Rodder for the July of '99 magazine for that. And then, so here is the page that he took. He did, I think it was a 2 or 3 page article. So here it clearly shows my car, and here it shows Sam painting my car. And then, of course, it had his LTD that he drove up into. And Sam actually also did model cars. His were more, they were definitely curbsides, but he kind of was into abstract art also. So his models were like, I'd say more abstract in design and stuff like that. And then also I did a blow up of Sam actually pinstriping my model, and it was cool that he did it. So I want to show you before we look at the car, I want to show you some of the things that I've gotten from Sam. So I'm gonna move the camera. We're gonna go up and look at my panel that I have that he did for me. Did I just put my fingers in there? I guess I did. Hang on. So of course, I guess I got too much reflection on that, but he did this in his hotel room. It's actually got fingerprints on the back of it from him. He got paint all over the desk too. It was pretty funny. But this is a very unique piece for him because it has 4 colors of paint on it. And he normally doesn't use 4 colors. He usually does 3 or less. So it's pretty unique. And when he asked me what I wanted, I didn't want to, when you're dealing with someone who does art, I don't like to influence the piece. So I just had him I said I don't want to influence what you know. I as an artist, I want him to just do it, and you know that's the way it was. And but the unique, it's like amazing. He started that. He didn't measure anything. He just started laying stripes on there. I'm sorry about the bumpiness, but it's pretty cool. And then I also picked up. He did some trophies for a local show in Gettysburg, Lead Slit Lead Scene East in 1995, and he did these trophies. And let me swing across here. Hold on. And I was able to purchase this fairly cheap from someone that won one of these awards. And again, if you notice, he only has two colors on here, and he doesn't do much with. He said that he painted with black and white for so many years back in the 50s that he very rarely does anything in white and black. It's usually in different colors, usually more brighter colors and stuff. So if you know of Yosemite Sam and you have any of his work, it's probably pretty rare to find something in black and white. So I have three pieces that have been done from him. So now let's look at the car. And I left him pick the color and everything. I didn't want to, like I said, I don't like to influence people. So he just picked this color and he just hand striped this car just right there on the table, which is pretty cool. And he had his pinstriping brush was pretty thick. It really wasn't meant for model cars, but he still did it, and it's pretty cool. And then he even signed his name on the quarter panel. So I think that's just so cool. It was quite enjoyable to watch him do that. It was pretty cool. So let's talk about this Ford. So this is a 1949 AMT Ford. This is just good old Tester's black enamel that I polished and rubbed out with a polishing kit with the cloths. And I added blue dot tail lights on the tail lights, and these are a little train, and you can't, I haven't been able to find these. I've been hoarding these. These are like little diamonds. They're for like trains, like little trains, I guess for lantern lights. They're just like little diamonds. They're tiny. Aluminum exhaust tips, which, you know, I always do. I think the license plates are from Scale. Oh, no, these are from, I forgot who they're from now. Scale Vanities. Yes, Scale Vanities from back in the day. And of course, I have a little photo etch cover on it. Of course, the trunk is shaved on it. The door handles are shaved. These are later Ford hubcaps on wide whites. I shaved the hood. The front license plate is it's photo etched. It's from AccuPro, which I think is now out of business. But, and I actually built a motor and stuff on this one. So we're going to look at the, we're going to pull the hood off and look at the hood, or look at the motor. So this is, I put a flathead Ford in it. And I put ignition wires on it, plug wires. Rubber hoses for the radiator with some, I think they're RB Motion machined caps on the radiators. That's not what they're for, but that's what I used them for. So, and I actually built the, you know, back when I was not weathering things. It's pretty much stock underneath. Nothing fancy, just some nice clean detail. And looks my mirror's loose. On the interior, I did a Detail Master steering wheel kit, and I think I got Detail Master gauge cluster underneath there. Put a floor shifter on it. Just mainly painting details in there. I know it's hard to see. I do not have any photographs of this car unbuilt anymore. But yeah, it's a pretty nice car. I love it. I think, you know, I mean, it was nice looking when I had it finished, but I think the pinstriping just took this car into another, you know, it just changed the whole look of it. And of course, it does have the correct one bubble out order rake on it. So it's got the official rake on it. Yeah, it's this is a cool car. It has a cool history and a cool story. So I don't know if any of you have that magazine, but you know, if you have any of the old custom rodders, you could probably find it. I had to go back to Rick to see if he could find it, and we were trying to pinpoint when it was. So I had to come up with the year that I went to Toledo, and he was able to backtrack it from there, because I wasn't sure if we had it in scale. I knew he had an article, but I couldn't remember what magazine it was in, because he did some writing for both. So, but yeah, just a nice 49 Ford. Again, like I pinned my mirrors, like it's loose. I need to put some glue on that, but it's pinned, so it's not a big deal to fix that. And just nice and clean with a great kit. And I think this was at the time one of the many reissues of this. This wasn't like an original issue or nothing like that. You know, just some foil, nothing too crazy. And oh, also, should have did this at the beginning. The upcoming show that I'm going to be going to next will be in January 17th. It's the Hope It Don't Snow show. It's going to be in Spartansburg. So if you're in that area or you're looking for a show to go into in January, that's where we're going to be next. And of course, we are hoping it doesn't snow, especially in Spartansburg. So that'll be the next show that we're going to go to. And that's going to be pretty much it for today. Again, love this car, love the story behind it, and it's pretty special to me. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on the Harder Rake.